I want to talk about married women
Married women.
that are friends to their ex-boyfriend.
Really?
So married women right now are still being friends with their ex-boyfriend. They are still following their ex-boyfriends on Instagram. They are still meet up. There's this one they are doing now that is called meet up and greet. A lot of married women are still meeting up and greeting. Do you think it's right for a married woman to keep friends with her ex-boyfriend?
Not only do I think that is wrong, I think it's dangerous.
You will see married women that are doing prostitution. Married women doing prostitution, get money and use the money to cook for their husband and their children. They are out there. You see some women, they are married. In every given opportunity, in every little argument they have with their husband, they will say, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this marriage. And then the man keeps begging every day. Do you think that a man should continue begging a woman that says, I'm tired of this marriage every day? And, looking for a way to pacify her, to keep her and let her stay in the marriage every day. Do you think it's the right thing to do?
I don't think it is the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today we have Lady Ola again in the house. As usual, it's going to be very interesting. If you enjoyed the last podcast that we did, you need to watch this one. This one is going to be bomb. Do follow Lady Ola on all our social media platforms at Smoopy World Podcast. Smoopy World, right? Smoopy's World. And on Instagram, I am Smoopy.
Yes.
Yeah. And on TikTok,
I am
Lady
Smoopy
Ola.
as well. Yeah,
I'm Smoopy. Yeah. Okay.
At Lady Ola.
And on Spotify,
Smoopy's World.
Smoopy's World on Spotify. If you want to listen to Lady Ola's audiobook, you must listen to it. It's a must listen to. If you want to grow, if you want your brain to come up, you must listen to Lady Ola. And for all you aspiring mothers out there, those of you that have mother, and some of you also that you don't have mother anymore, you need to listen to Lady Ola at all time. It's very important to get advice that will help you in life. My opinion, I stand to be corrected. Lady Ola, I'm so happy to have you back in the studio again today.
I'm in trouble again.
And we have a lot of questions we want to ask you. I want to talk about married women.
Married women.
That are friends to their ex-boyfriend.
Really?
So married women right now are still being friends with their ex-boyfriend. They are still following their ex-boyfriends on Instagram. They are still meet up. There's this one they are doing now that is called meet up and greet. A lot of married women are still meeting up and greeting. Do you think it's right for a married woman to keep friends with her ex-boyfriend?
Not only do I think that is wrong, I think it's dangerous. It's dangerous for you to keep your ex-boyfriend or whoever they are, that is ex, in your relationship. That means you have two men. It's just that one is living in your house, the other one is living outside. What will make a married woman to want to keep the ex-boyfriend? If that guy was good enough, why didn't you marry him? Obviously, he wasn't good enough. It wasn't enough for you. Otherwise, you would have stayed with him.
Some married women will justify it that they lost track with the ex-boyfriend. Maybe something happened and they lost communication, and now they find him on Facebook or Instagram, on TikTok, and they reconnected, and that is why they are keeping the relationship with him.
That's an excuse that is not allowed. It's an excuse. Whatever happened between you two, you moved on, you found someone that you love, and you got married to that person. Whether you lost contact with the ex or whatever happens, you should not bring that. You should not go back there, because that's being dishonest. That is, for me, I consider that cheating, even if you're not doing anything. Yeah. Because there's no way this married women will have the boldness to tell their husband that, by the way, I stumbled into my ex-boyfriend page today, and we've been chatting and we've been sending messages back. Anything that you cannot boldly put on the table for your partner to discuss, is a cheating.
Correct. There's this saying that they say old firewood know they had to catch.
I don't know that saying.
Ah, okay. You did not live in Nigeria, so you don't know.
No, I live in Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, at least until I was 19.
Yeah, but there's this saying that they say old firewood is not difficult to catch. So this old firewood, after you use it to cook for the first time, if you keep it,
right,
and next time you want to cook again, that's old firewood. If you put it together, just put matches and little kerosene, it will begin to burn. But if it's the first time, you need to put and you need to blow fire.
But why is that relevant in a relationship?
A woman that used to be your girlfriend before, now she's married. Once you meet her, even if she's not married, once a man meets his girlfriend or a woman meets her ex-boyfriend, it's very easy. In most cases, it's very easy for them to reconnect and start doing whatever they were doing before. So a married woman, for example, that just run into her ex-boyfriend in the mall and they exchange number. Just by sending a message to the ex-boyfriend sending a message to her, hi, how are you? How was your night? That relationship will begin to catch again like old firewood. And before you know what's happening, they're sleeping together again.
And that is why I said it is dangerous for a married woman to keep in touch with the ex. Even you as a woman, if you just, wow, I haven't, for old time's sake, let's just catch up. The moment you take the number, you are not only catching up, something else will catch up.
Yeah. So,
and that's why you must always avoid things like that. I mean, you can meet at the mall. Wow, how are you doing? How's the family? It's been a while. You can chat right there. But when it comes to, you can have my number, you take my number. I'm married. I don't need your number. That should be the next thing to say.
But sometimes also is even the married women that are requesting to give the number to the men. It's a married woman that is requesting that, hey, James, please, can you give me your number? Let's meet up. And sometimes also you see some married women, when their husband does not have money to give them, they request money from their ex. A lot of women are doing that.
Okay, now let me be on the women's side for a minute. What exactly is the man that she's married to? How is he treating her at home? That will make her to want to quickly jump and take the ex-boyfriend number.
A man can be treating her right, but just saw the ex-boyfriend.
Is she happy at home? If she's happy at home, why would she? I'm trying to understand why women would do that.
But that's what I was telling you about this old firewood.
Forget about old firewood.
That's what I was actually telling you about the old firewood, because you see, when the woman she has a good husband, the husband is taking care of her very well, okay. But meeting the ex-boyfriend, there's this excitement that could just come into her. Mostly when if they broke up and there were no serious issues.
There was no. There
was no fight. There was no serious issues.
No closure.
There could be just this excitement that would come into her. Hey James, how are you? Long time I didn't see you. Okay, just give me your number, and from there they get talking. So it must not necessarily be that the man is treating her bad. The man that she's having is treating her bad. But because of the excitement of seeing James after 10 years.
Okay. I'm not saying that could not happen. But what I'm saying is there should be no reason for you to escalate the excitement.
Yeah.
As a married woman that wants to keep your home.
Yeah.
If you have a good husband, if you're happy at home, there should be no reason for you to escalate that. There's nothing wrong in seeing each other after 20 years, 30 years, 10 years, whatever. But you should let the excitement stay there.
And end there. Yeah.
Because one thing we don't know is when you start to go back into how you guys used to do and how the things you used to do together and all that, those memories start to come back, and then you start to forget that you're committed to someone.
Yes. That's the biggest challenge.
Because it won't take long, because emotions is a weapon that can destroy. Once that person, especially if you guys did not close, if there was no closure in your relationship, maybe he left abroad and then you lost contact, now you saw each other, there was no closure. So that person that person knew you before. And especially if it's a man who now saw that you're married and you're happy where you are, and actually felt that, oh, that lady should have been mine. Then without you knowing that was his intention, then you're entertaining him by chatting with him. Before you know it, women were not that strong. Men can do that, and they know when to cap it. They know when to stop it. But us women, we will be swept off our feet. Before we know it, we already, the one that we're married to, we start to look at him somehow. And then the love that we have for that person, the family that we have built, the relationship that we have built, then all of a sudden, you just and you don't know the intention of that guy. Whether he just came to this. I've seen many people losing their homes because of that.
Yeah.
They thought this guy came back. Well, actually, I just got married to this one because not that I love him, but it was him that I loved. And they've married 3 times, and they're still not learning. So we need to make up our mind. What exactly do we want? You want to be married, or you want to be flaunting it around? You have to make a choice. When you're committed to someone, married, it's a covenant. You have a covenant with that person. You should make it work. You should stay there. I don't care even if that person doesn't have money. There was something that drew you to him. You love that person for a reason. There was reason why you accepted that you will marry him. So what changed? Do we marry for circumstance? Do we marry that for better, for stay, for worse, for run? Is that what we're doing?
That's what it is now.
It shouldn't be.
For better to stay.
For stay.
And for worse to
for
run.
No, that's...
And from a man's perspective also, some men that are going, that sees their ex when she's married, they are not there to be friends with her. They're just there to destroy that marriage.
Yes.
A lot of men that are meeting up with their ex when she's married, they're just there to make sure they distract her and destroy her marriage. Not that they want to marry her. Not that they want to be in a relationship with her. Some of them will say, okay, from that thing that you did to me when we were dating, I'm going to punish you now that you're married. And they will come back and begin to chat with the married woman, and I still love you. Remember when we used to do this in the room? Remember when we used to do that on the bed? All those kind of stories. And before you know what's happening, you begin to get entangled in those kind of statements, those kind of words that the man is giving, not knowing that his mission is to punish you for that day that you embarrassed him in a place where he saw you, where you went to when you were dating. Before you know what's happening, he will just make sure that your marriage is down.
One of the things that our women may not know or they're not paying attention to is when you give audience to another man that you're not married to, you have dishonored yourself.
Yes.
Because that man is not going to take you serious. Because men...
Mostly if he knows that you are married.
Yes. Men, they're quick to think, and they're watching. And they can see, they can look at the future and say, if I was married to her, would that be the way she would...
This will be my case.
Yeah.
The man will think, if I was married to this lady, of course, this is what she will be doing to me.
Exactly. So when they are approaching you like that and you're giving them open door for discussion and conversation and taking it to another level, let's go, Isuya, let's go and do this, let's go and do that. He will continue to have his way because he just wants to do hit and run. Because he's never going to marry you. If you leave your husband, he won't marry you. I've seen many ladies that has left their marriages because of the guy that they met. That promised them, if I was your husband, I won't be treating you like that. If I was this, I was... So they drove themselves out of their own comfort in their own marriage
Because of the
and
promises.
because of the promises. Now, when they left the marriage,
Yeah.
the guy told them, "I didn't ask you to leave your husband.
And it's true. He didn't ask you to leave your husband, though.
So I have to live my life the way I want." Then they realize that they have lost a treasure.
And it's already too late.
It's already too late. And because you were given an open door to a man that you're not married to, thinking he wants you. You got the best man. Why not? Why don't you stay there? I mean, I don't entertain any conversation that is coming up with, from any man.
Yeah.
I'm married. There are many times that people will send me message on TikTok. "Oh, I would like to be your friend." I'll be like, "What kind of friend is that?"
Yeah.
I'm married.
For what?
For what? I don't need a friend. I have a friend at home.
Yeah.
It's called husband.
Yeah. The husband has to be your best friend. Your wife is your best of
My
friends.
husband is my best
There's
friend.
no need for any
I
other
don't
friend.
need any other friend.
Yeah.
I'm secured. I have security. I don't need that.
Yeah.
One of the things that sometimes makes our women to do that is insecurity. And if you have insecurity, you will never be pleased in everything that a man does for you.
True.
And that's what sometimes always make them to go that route. Or maybe things are they're going through rough times at home. But if you're going through rough times in your marriage, you have to work it out together. Leaving that marriage is not the answer.
No, but some don't leave the marriage, but they will just be getting money from other side guys,
This is wrong. What is wrong is wrong.
And some of them will get money from an
to
outside guy to cook food for their husband also.
How? God.
A lot of ladies are doing it. They get money from their boyfriend outside, or they sleep with them. Some even do hookup. You will see married women that are doing prostitution. Married women doing prostitution, get money, and use the money to cook for their husband and their children. They are out there. And I think
What
that
has
is
the world
bad.
become?
That is, if you go out, you will see what's happening on the street. The last time you traveled, visit ShopRite and see what's happening in front of ShopRite. You see a lot of people's girls, ladies standing in front of ShopRite.
Are you kidding me?
I kid you not, Lady Ola. When you traveled, you visit ShopRite?
When I go to those states where I normally stay, I see them every night.
Oh my God! All over the
They
place.
will line up, but I don't know who they are.
In front of when you go to ShopRite, in the front of ShopRite, you will see a lot of ladies everywhere. What are they doing? Those ladies you see there, you think they came to shop? What are they doing? What are those ladies doing there? They're just hanging out under the sun in the afternoon? No.
But let's just look at.
So what I want you to look at now is women doing prostitution or sleeping with other men or doing what they call hookup in an advanced way to get money and use the money to cook for their husband. Maybe because their husband is broke, maybe because their husband is facing financial challenges and all that, and they use the money to cook for their husband and their children or pay their children's school fee.
That is disheartening. A man would rather die than you going to do hookup or taking money from another man and using that money to feed him. You are poisoning the man. It's manhood you're destroying it. I mean, I don't know how people sleep at night. But there's something that we call conscience. I wonder if people still have it. Because if you do have conscience, there are so many ways you can make money than having to sleep with another man to feed the man. Come on now, this is not right. Okay, let's just say, okay, you don't believe in God, but that's a human being, a man that's supposed to be the head of the home. Now, because things are not okay, there's nothing wrong in a woman going out to work and bringing money to feed the family, because the table can turn around anytime. When your man don't have, you can look for a way to make money, but to sleep with someone else and bring that money to feed the man, it's a taboo.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be done.
What do you have to say to the ladies out there about keeping their ex-boyfriend as friends? and women sleeping with other men to get money to feed their husband.
As a married woman who you're keeping in touch, or you're connecting yourself with your ex, in God's eyes, it is wrong. It's a taboo. You would never have the support of God doing that. It is wrong. Once you have committed yourself to somebody, you should stick with that person. And you should seek the counsel of God to support you, to take care, to make your marriage work. There's a reason why marriages are failing. And this is one of it. When you cannot come together as husband and wife, when you cannot keep your affairs in your home, when you don't love that man enough to even go on your knees on his behalf and pray for him, that's what happened. And then when the man finally find out that you are actually keeping your ex, and then the marriage dissolve, and then you'll be crying around and be asking people to beg him. It's not so. What you would not take if that happens, if you find out that man has done that to you, how would you feel? Let us not do to people what we cannot take. For married women that is sleeping around, doing hookups, doing prostitution, to take that money and come home and buy food and feed that man, you are not only are you destroying that man, you are incapacitating him. And you're bringing bad luck into that house. It's a real taboo. And bad luck is, you don't have to go to Abali's house. You're by your hand, you're bringing evil in your own home. And then you call yourself, before you know, you'll be saying you are a breadwinner. You are not winning anything. For me, as a woman, and if you're a mother and your child is doing that, and you can, because I do know, I've seen many cases where it is a mother that will actually push their daughter out there to go and make money, sell body, to use their body to make money. God is going to ask you what you did with that child. And as mothers, we should always be on the lookout for our daughters. Let's teach them morals. Let's teach them integrity. Let's bring into their attention who they are. They need to know who they are. They are set apart. They're secure, and they need to act the way they are raised. And if your mother has raised you wrong, you can correct it, and you can make decisions. You can turn things around. It doesn't have to be like that. It's a taboo. Nobody should do that.
Well said. Well said, Lady Ola. A word is enough for the wise.
Yes.
If you like, you take the advice. If you don't like, you leave it. A word is enough for the wise. The moment you say a woman, I'm going to balance up what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, I'm going to look for a man also to tell us a man's perspective.
Yes.
For the sake of balance.
Yes.
But I want to ask you, because I know you have a lot of experience as a mother, and by age, being a 58 years old mother, I know you have a lot of experience. So you have, the younger generation can take advice.
Yes.
So you see some women, they are married. In every given opportunity, in every little argument they have with their husband, they will say, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this marriage. I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. And then the man keeps begging every day. In every slightest opportunity, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of this marriage. Do you think that a man should continue begging a woman that says, I'm tired of this marriage every day? And, looking for a way to pacify her, to keep her and let her stay in the marriage every day? Do you think it's the right thing to do?
I don't think it is the right thing to do. It's not the right thing to do. And having said that, there are times that in marriage, you feel like you don't want to marry again.
Yeah, but you see women right now, every day they don't want to marry again. Mostly when there are some financial challenges.
Let's just drop that in. There are times in marriage, and this is why the young people need to listen. Wedding is a different thing. When you come into marriage, I always say this to people, love is blind. Marriage is eye-opener. Your eyes will be open when you get into that marriage. There are times that your partner will do something that you were like, I don't want to be married again. Every one of us, once in a while, we feel that. Nobody say marriage is a bed of roses. There will be ups and downs, and that's why we're two, so that we can work it out. But for you to be saying to a man that you're tired, you don't want to be married again. You're tired, you don't want to be married again. If you're tired, you're still not tired, because if you're tired, you won't be telling him. You pack your things and leave. For you to be telling your husband that you're tired, and that one has to be begging you. Number one, a man that's begging you loves you. A man that is still begging you to say, oh, please, beg you once and beg you twice, still loves you. Don't push it. A man that doesn't love you will not beg you, will not say anything to you. You're tired. This is the door. Go away. But for a woman to say, so a married woman to say, I'm tired to her husband, number one, I consider it to be disrespectful. You are dishonoring that man. If you're tired, know the tiredness in you. Don't say it to his face. And don't let him, because when you make that man to feel that there's something that he's not doing right. Maybe he has done everything that he could, but it's still not good enough for you. But that is not right for you to tell the man, I'm tired of you. I don't want this marriage anymore. On what ground? Why are you tired of the marriage? Is he abusive? Is he unfaithful? Even with that.
Maybe when he's unfaithful, or sometimes also when there's some financial challenge at home, when the man is trying, but still money is not coming in, and there are financial challenges.
If there are financial challenges, what are you doing to support the finance? As a woman, what are you doing to support the finance? If they are going through financial challenges, if the man is trying and he couldn't bring the money, is not forthcoming, why don't you get up and go do something and support the family? That's what makes you to be a wife. That's what makes you to be a mother in that home. Nobody says, I know culturally, in African setting, the responsibility of the home is placed on the man.
Yeah.
In those days, not in these days. Everybody has hand to work. Everybody can go to work and make money. It doesn't have to be the man that pays the bill. It doesn't have to be the man that put the food on the table. Whoever that has a hand to do it, let's do it. So that we can enjoy this marriage, so that it's not one person that is struggling and carrying the weight. I always say to our women, if only you know what men are going through. There's a lot that they're dealing with that they can't tell you. If only we can feel the weight of men. I'm talking about real men now. I'm not talking about boys.
Yeah.
I'm talking about real men that know their value, real men that knows that have integrity, real men that really, they're family men, that want to make sure the wife is okay, the children is okay. If we have slightest idea how much they carry, we will not be telling a man, I'm tired of this, I want out. This is not one size fit all. I'm not saying if the man is abusive, if your life is in danger, that's a different ballgame. But if it's about finances, it's about whatever it is, if your life is not in danger, even if it's in danger, you plan your exit.
Danger have different categories also. There are some different categories of
danger
also.
Different categories. You plan your exit. But because the finances, it's not being able to get a job, it's not being able. My husband came all the way from LA to London to do his master's. He wasn't living in London. And I knew that if he has to be converting dollars to pounds for him to pay for his master's degree for a year, then it will be an issue. And we have children. And when it came, I know that if he has that master's, it's an add-on to the family. What did I do? I went to go and get extra jobs.
And support him.
I supported him.
But Lady Ola, these days when women in Africa, mostly in Africa, now, when these women, they have the financial ability now to support their husband, there's no more respect. Now, in 2025, when a woman have little finances, little resources, that man is gone.
The man should not be gone.
But that is the situation right now.
Yeah, but that situation we need to change it. We need to look into it. We need to look back and ask our grandmothers, our grandparents, how they survived. They didn't have all this, but they survived. They stuck together. They raised our parents. We should ask our parents, how did they survive? We should be learning from this is the problem that they have. Oh, you guys are too
old school. If you ask them, they will say old school.
This generation, it's not, things are changing.
Yeah.
But I understand things are changing, but things are changing for bad. I don't mind the change from being bad to good.
Yeah.
But if things are changing from being bad, from good to
bad, that's a problem.
It's a problem. You want to eat your cake and still have it.
No, not possible.
It's not possible.
Yeah.
We need to be looking at, okay, what did the old generation did? There are some things that they did right. And marriage is one of them. There are some things that they did right. Other things, some of them I don't agree with them, but there are some things that they did right to stay in marriage.
Yeah.
You have little money, and then you turn yourself. For that 1 year that my husband was in school, not only one time did I take the card machine from him. I gave the card to him. Only whenever you want to, I don't know, you're in school, maybe you want to buy something, he has the card in his hand. When I need the card, I ask for it. I give it back. Not one day did I make him feel that he was not a man, that I wasn't making money for that year.
No, but this Gen Z generation will say that is old school. That is old school. That was your time.
But
now
that's why I'm still here, though. That's why I'm still married after 24 years.
Yeah, that is true. Of course, that's true.
If it didn't work, if I was stupid, I may look stupid then.
Yeah.
But I'm reaping it now.
Yes.
Whatever you have to build. If you don't build, I know that this generation everything is AI.
Yeah.
They want everything fast. They don't want to be. They see everything as being taken advantage of. No, you're building. If you don't build right, your house will collapse.
Yeah. True.
What's the point of being partner? What is collaboration?
But also on my own part, I will want to blame it also on the mothers, because now these days the mothers also don't tell the girl child how to be married and how to stay married. They don't teach. Once the girl child is growing up from primary school, they go to high school. From high school, they go to university. They already lost touch. Before university, they already lost touch with the mothers. Some of them were in the boarding school when they were in high school, yeah? And then from there, they go to university. From university, they go to boyfriend's house. From boyfriend's house, they are already married. They did not spend any time with their mothers to teach them what marriage should be like. In the old days, you see that mothers see the children, the girl child down, and tell them about marriage, how to be married, how to stay married, what you need to do. Some countries like in Uganda, in Rwanda, all these countries in East Africa, I think their mothers are still doing that. But I don't know what's happening in West Africa or in Central Africa. Now it's not like that anymore.
Sometimes you can have somebody tell you what they did. You're still left with choice.
Yeah.
I didn't see my parents together growing up.
Yeah.
They were not married when I was growing up. But I know what I wanted in my head. I've watched a lot of movies, and I've seen happy marriage. And I developed that in my head. So when I went into the first marriage that didn't work, what I had in my head was not in that marriage. And when I got into the second one, what I had in my head that I always wanted, it was played like a tape. I made that choice. You have choice. Mothers, many mothers they were not together when that child is growing up. But still, so there are mothers who are still living in bitterness of what happened between them and the father of the child. And then when that child is growing up, they will be telling that child, teaching that child what their own faults and what happened in that marriage. I've seen a mother that told her daughter, you cannot trust men.
That's already setting up the girl child for failure.
You've already set that child for failure.
Yeah.
When you're telling a child you cannot trust men, because it didn't work out for you doesn't mean that it won't work out for her. And mothers, we are called to nurture the child that was given to us. If you didn't have a successful marriage, you won't know what to say to your child. That's number one. Number two, for me, I didn't sit my daughter down and tell her this is how to live. I used me
as an
to
example
teach her.
So she will see what's happening between you and her both parents, and then she will decide that this is the right way to go.
It was my life. It was me as a person that taught her how to behave, how to live as a wife. She saw everything that I did, and most times she would come to me, she said, Mom, I love everything about you, but there are some things about you that I would not take from a man.
At that point, you need to correct her that you need to take it.
So I would say to her, I said, what exactly is that? You always let my dad get away with a lot of things. You always let my dad get away with this, with that. And I told her, a wise woman builds her home. If what looks like I'm like, you think you saw me as a fool, I'm building my home.
Yeah, and that's why we are here together today.
That's why we're still together. That's why you as a person, living with us for 24 years, that you never see us one time arguing, not talk of fighting. All you see was love. And how I treated good things, how I treated my husband, your dad, how I treated my husband, how I honor you, how I do not allow anything to come between us, even you as children. I said, you wait until you get married, then you start to use it. Guess what? She's using it.
Of course, she will use it. She will use it.
Yeah, she's using it.
Of course, because if the glass you used to serve to your husband, that's what they're going to serve for you. If you make bad, they're going to give you bad. If you make good, they're going to give you good.
Exactly.
In most cases.
And this is why I always say to parents, you're leaders of home. As a man, you're a leader of your home. As a woman, you're leading your children. Your children are anything that you do, they will follow. And that's why we must lead by example.
Yes. Exemplary life, very important.
Very important. What you don't want your children to become, don't do it. Because they're watching you. You guys can do whatever you guys want until you start having children. But the moment you start to have a child or children, they start to watch you. And you have to watch what you do. And that's why we have different people today. Some people they're still dealing with depression. They're dealing with a lot of things because what they grew up, their childhood environment turned them to a monster. So whatever you build in a child is what sets the future of that child. So we have to be very careful, mothers, what we do. Train up your child. Tell your child to do the right. Don't discourage your child or tell your child the negative side of what did not happen work for you.
Some mothers also, they don't, when they have a problem in their marriage and maybe there's a divorce or there's a breakup, they don't tell the child, the girl child, the true situation, what they actually did that was wrong. They will only paint a nice picture of themselves and making the father of the kids to be bad.
It's the nature of a human being.
Yeah, so the girl child will think that, okay, that thing that their mother did was correct. But if you are able to open up and say, my daughter, this thing I did, I knew that it was wrong. But before I did, at the time I did it, I did not know that I was taking the wrong direction. But now I know that this is wrong. Please don't do it. I think it's going to solve a lot of problems.
It will solve more. It will solve more than a lot of problems. It will solve everything, because if your child if you can be vulnerable before your child, you have given that child power to survive. If you cannot be vulnerable, if you cannot discuss with your child your failure, you've set her for failure. For example, when I was counseling, I do marriage counseling. When I was counseling my daughter and her husband before they married, premarital counselor, there's a part where we will have to ask them the question, how did your parents resolve conflicts in their marriage? Because that allows us to let them know, to see how they will also, so that we can guide them. So the husband told me how his parents resolve conflict in marriage. When it came to my daughter's turn, she looked at me, she said,
I did not see any conflict.
I wouldn't know how to resolve conflict.
Because I did not see.
Because I didn't even know that there's anything called conflict in marriage.
Yeah.
That was when it got done on me and said, Mokpo, you have covered this so much. You've created this environment of love so much that your daughter didn't even know that there are times that there will be conflict. Is it for that 24 years? Is it that we didn't have any argument?
Yeah.
But when we want to have argument, I'll take him outside. I'll tell him, honey, we need to go and we need to have a date night.
Yeah.
We need to. Let's just take a walk.
Yeah.
That's taking our walk. That's where
we are going to finish the conflict.
We will finish there before we come back.
So in a way, also, it's not good.
It's not
because
good.
The conflicts you happen, let the kids understand also how to handle conflicts.
Yes, there has to be a balance.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I'm just using that as an example of, if your children don't see you, if you don't let them know, if you're not opening up to them the mistake you made in the past, they will not know how to learn, or they will not know how to tackle life. Every of my past, I did not hide it from my children. They can replay it like a tape for you every day. When you ask them, they will tell you from the beginning till the end.
Yeah.
And they have learned from it, and they're still learning from it. And I always tell them, you need to learn from my mistakes. You need to learn what I did was not right, and this is the way I thought it was right. That it wasn't right when I was doing it.
Yeah. So you need to learn from it.
You need to learn.
Avoid it.
So if our children cannot learn from us, then they have to go learn from outsiders.
Correct.
And that's the danger. When somebody is teaching your child what you're not teaching your child, you are in trouble.
Lady Ola, before we round up, being a marriage counselor, the last question. Being a marriage counselor, from your experience, do you actually think that pastors or religious leaders, let me say religious leaders, they don't have conflict with their wives in their marriages? They don't have problem in their marriages?
Who told you that?
Because the way we see religious leaders and their wife, it looks like 24 hours, everything is sweet, smooth, and perfect.
Everything you see on camera, or it's just show.
So sometime behind closed doors, they have argument also that they need to visit the counselor.
Are they not human? Is blood not flowing through their veins? They are human. We will have conflict. We will have disagreement. We will have argument. When we have argument, we have to come to a place of resolving it. Every marriage is not bed of roses.
Every day, yeah.
Every day you have something will happen. You can have disagreements, but you will have to come together and solve it. Especially if the pastor has to get up on the pulpit and preach. For example, on Sunday morning, maybe the wife took a long time to finish her makeup, and then pastor has already dressed up. He wants to be going, but the woman is delaying him. So that already set him off.
And the pastor can be upset also.
And the pastor can be upset.
Because sometimes it look like pastors, they don't get upset,
Who told you that? Of course they get upset. They are human. They are human. We are all human. And we should be allowed to be human. And what the world has done today, the world has put pastors in a corner where they see them as angels. They're not angels, they're human. They didn't fall from heaven. They were born the same way you were born. To not give them the space and allow them to breathe. They can make mistakes. They're allowed to make mistakes. So pastor can be angry. Pastor can be disappointed. Pastor can, and just the way you will behave is the same way I will behave as a pastor. But the difference between you and I, that you're not a pastor, is that I can quickly snap out of that. Like, no, there's far, you can't go this far, because you cannot let the anger be there for too long, because it will, if you occupy that space there, Holy Spirit cannot stay there. So we have to let that thing go, especially when you have to preach. I'm gonna go back to that, and that happened before you leave home. By the time you get into the car, you have to, honey, please don't be angry. I always, do this makeup, and I have to look good for you, and all that. You have to make sure that this is what I did for me.
The anger needs to go down.
It needs to go down. Yeah. So I need to calm down, because I know that if he goes there, the congregation will not be able to get anything out of him.
Yeah.
And that anger, if you take that anger to the church, everybody will be partaker of that, because it will just be snapping, and that is we should not do that. So pastors and their wives, they do go through stuff. Because they're not putting on social media doesn't mean that they are perfect. They're not perfect. Nobody is perfect. It's through the grace of God that we're all surviving. And we are managing our home. And if we are leaders, we have to learn how to lead. And that's why you see them looking like, oh, they are so perfect. No, they're not perfect. It's just that they have to be the leader that they have been called to be. They are called to win souls. So they have to make sure that all those, they are not losing any souls because of their own flesh. So, yeah, the pastors don't have it all together, but God is helping all of us.
Thank you so much, Lady Ola. Anytime we have you on the podcast, there's always something new to learn. We also have too much questions to ask you, but time is always running very fast. We cannot ask you all of them.
Okay.
But it's fine. Let's call it a wrap for today.
Okay.
Let's come to the end of the podcast today, guys. If you like what you're hearing, please go follow Lady Ola's page on the Smopy's World podcast. Smopy's World.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find her podcast there. She's the host of the Smopy's World. And on Instagram, I am Smopy's. And on other social media platforms also. Guys, follow, like, comment. If you think what we have said is not correct, what we have said is our opinion. If you think it's not correct, please let's see your comment. And if you have any other question for Lady Ola, you can drop it on the comment section. You can also slide into our DM and send her a message if you need counseling or advice. She's also a marriage counselor. So if you need such advices, you can reach out to Lady Ola also. She will charge you, but not now, maybe later. Because it might not be free. Consultation might not be free all the time, But I think, Lady Ola, we are so happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And
thank you for having me.
See you guys on the next one.